Hello and welcome to my world and a casual review. This time we're talking about Terminator Resistance, released in 2019. This game kind of went under the radar to some degree because it came out, I believe, at the same time as that last Terminator film that kind of got, lambasted for various reasons for not being a particularly good movie. But let's be honest, there hasn't been a good Terminator movie since Terminator 2 Judgment Day. That's where the series peaked. Depending on the cut of the film that you see, you know that it has a happy ending of sorts. So everything after it, it was just pure milking of the franchise to continue it, as well as to give Arnold Schwarzenegger a big enough payday so he can buy more cigars and a new Hummer, as well as pay off his ex-wife in the divorce settlement. So that is that side there. Terminator Resistance, I actually enjoyed this game the further I went into it. The first few hours of the game, I would dare say, I got the impression that this game was pretty mediocre. Because everything was being rolled out at a fair pace. There's a fair amount of sneaking around. You don't really want to fight any of the enemies head on if you can help it, particularly at the normal and harder difficulties. Everything becomes at a premium in terms of resources and ammunition. So you will find yourself sneaking around a lot, and that is not particularly fun, no matter what game it is. Sneaking around and being stealthy, it's not fun. It's like maybe with the exception of Assassin's Creed, there's never been a stealth section in any game that I enjoyed, and having a good portion of this game, particularly early on, revolving around being stealthy, that kind of is what it is there. But once you meet up with Baron and get with the Resistance base, and that's when the game picks up. You start being able to fight the Skynet more directly, and the game becomes a lot more fun. So which is kind of what I look for is like, I would dare say some of the combat and action set pieces starts becomes almost Borderlands like Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, in terms of like just being a shootout and everything, and you got your weapons, you're ducking, you want to get to places where you can heal up. And if you level up Jacob Rivers enough, you can actually regenerate his health a bit. That's actually an unlockable perk. So it becomes like it becomes less of a stealthy first FPS game into more of your typical actiony one, with a lot of great action set pieces, and where you're shooting down aerials, going up against the heavy killer tanks, dealing with the T-800s, the T-850s. It becomes a hell of a lot more fun as the game goes along. Music wise, there are some music samplings and reuses of the score from particularly Terminator 2, and it becomes more pronounced again towards the end of the game, when there's a lot more action sequence, where there's like a lot of the skirmishes you get throughout the game up to a certain point. You get some of the music where it's just gradually starting to build and then cuts off once the combat encounter ends. But at the end of the game, you get that big score from Terminator 2 playing, and it's like it's perfect motivation. And again, at the very end of the game, visually, the night section certainly captured the mood of the future section scene at the beginning of Terminator 2, and to a lesser extent the first Terminator movie, because it's really Terminator 2 Judgment Day that really sets the full tone of what the dystopian future looks like. So this game really captures that element, but there are sections where you're not fighting under the cover of night. Everything is lit up. You have day sections, stuff roaming around a forest or city, or like a ruined downtown area of a city. It so you, in this game, when it's lit up, to be daytime, it is a very pretty game in my opinion. Controls, game is very responsive. It's like your crouching is bound to a button as well as your healing. Very standard first person shooter controls. So if you played any type of FPS over the course of, say, the last 10 years, you will feel right at home. There are a couple of nuances and stuff, and there is a mini game related to hacking enemy turrets and stuff like that, which is basically Frogger from a horizontal perspective as opposed to vertical. But that kind of is what it is. There's plenty of references to elements from the Terminator films, particularly the first two. And that's where this game's strength lies, particularly with its story, as this Terminator Resistance is essentially setting up Terminators 1 and 2. As you see there, that I had to read you a section over in that. So, but anyway, it sets everything up, and everything kind of like has a nice flow to it. You are, no matter how skilled or how much you're rushing through things, everything happens at a particular pace, and so you essentially end up seeing like the how. We all know the why as to why the original T-800 goes back after Sarah Connor, and why Kyle Reese is sent back. We know why the T-800 goes to protect John Connor when the T-1000 is sent back. And not to mention the whole point of this game, where you as the protagonist, Jacob Rivers, why a stranger is helping you. It all gets revealed at the end, and it essentially establishes a near permanent time loop and a paradox of sorts. If you don't time travel shenanigans in the Dragon Ball universe or Star Trek, it can be a pain in the ass. The Terminator universe has some really screwy things when it comes to time travel and plots of that sort. But this game does a pretty good job of explaining that, and this leads into another positive of Terminator Resistance, is you actually have choices that matter as it relates to the end. You meet characters along the way. Jessica and her brother Patrick, Ryan, Aaron, a nurse, and Baron. These are like the key characters you met, and also Dr. Mack to a very lesser degree. And your interactions with them, your decisions actually determines the ending of the game. It is possible to get a very good and positive ending, a happy ending for every character you meet, with the exception of Baron. But although that's kind of like left up in the air, that's left a bit ambiguous, actually. Spoilers for a near 4-year-old game at this point. But you have like a positive thing, like you can cut down on the number of casualties at the infiltrator segment, which is based on when the infiltrators raid the resistance cell, which you see in the first Terminator movie, where it's like the door open, the dogs are heavily barking, and that entire scenario takes place. Your decisions can actually cut down on the number of casualties there by doing certain actions, side quests, and making sure certain characters are told to leave, or basically get them thrown out to a large to a large degree. So your choices fully matter. So it's in a way it's like Mass Effect, and that's where its replay value kind of would be, just to see how different choices take place. If you want to go for the very positive ending, or go for the very bad ending, or some mix and combination in between. So it's it all kind of works out there, and that's another strength to it. If there is, I'm trying to think of, if there is a negative to Terminator Resistance, is that I've played the Xbox version of this. However, all the expanded content, any notable bug fixes, that is only on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 side of it. And to which I say, fuck Sony and their intentional exclusive nonsense of it. Is like, okay, they basically paid to make sure that the Xbox version of Terminator Resistance is the inferior version in terms of not getting certain bug fixes taken care of. And I didn't run into many issues, glitches, and things of that sort. But the fact is that you know that there are certain fixes that's going to be on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 version of this game, and not to mention expanded content, DLC that's not coming to the Xbox version because of Sony. That's kind of like an interesting take there. In terms of playtime, it took me about 12 hours to finish the game, and you get every single achievement. There are a few missable achievements if you're not aware of them, or using a guide to like realize what the check marks are. But I believe there is chapter replay to go back and do them. I got every achievement on a single playthrough because I did have the true achievements up to make notes of anything that was like missable. But it you can get every achievement on a single playthrough. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I have a lot of positive things to say about this game. Would I recommend it? If you're looking for a casual first-person shooter, if you're a fan of the Terminator franchise to various degrees, I say, yeah, check it out. Go for it. Catch it when it's on sale. Obviously, the superior version is going to be on the PlayStation side, but if you're looking for something cheap on the Xbox side to boost your gamer score, there are worse games, but this one you will have a lot of fun with it, particularly as a Terminator, if you're a fan of the Terminator franchise. So with that note, tighten your friendship bracelets, stay safe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.